Hare Krishna, Sridevi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vrshabh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances on the eve of God Purnima. We welcome all the devotees to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we have the pleasure of hearing from His Grace Vrshabh Prabhu on exactly the same topic, appearance of Lord Chaitanya and its significance. So we invite everyone to listen with rapt attention and get the nectar. So, Rishabh Prabhu, if you will kindly tell me which verse, which chapter 4, I'm assuming Adi Leela.
Hare Krishna, do you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, I'm just trying out my new earphones just to be sure. Thank you very much, dear Vaishnavas. Please accept my humble obeisances, and I pray for senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis to give me their blessings and to pray all together, as that something really valuable comes from any class. Depends on the sincerity of the speaker and the hearer. So hope that Goranga blesses us. We're gonna read from the Adi Leela, fourth chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, starting from the verses 15 and 16. And I would suggest if Sridev, if you want to read, or who is with us in the class? Let me see who is in the class with us today. I was thinking if Srimati, Mother Srimati, are you able to read maybe?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, I'm a little busy.
Okay, no problem.
Mataji,
Then,
I think Mataji can.
yes. So Sridevi, what I suggest that you leave it not on the verse itself, but on the over like the chapter view, where all the verses are. And because what we're gonna do, yeah, it's like the biggest day of the year for us. Not even Janmashtami is so big as Gauranga's appearance. It's like the second Janmashtami, or where Krishna appears again, but in really sweet form. And this is the chapter called the internal reasons for his descent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it's really deep in understanding the mood of the gopis, the tattva of Krishna and Radharani, which kind of gives us the essence of who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Krishna himself, but why? And it kind of also helps us to understand what we are aiming for. What is this stage of prema, and why is it so special? Why was it not available? And to try to understand what really is this prema, what is lust. So what I suggest, dear mother, to go backwards on the chapter overview, where you have all the verses of the chapter without a purport. Because I went through the chapter a few times, and I'm gonna ask Sridevi if you can read the verses, and after each verse, I will tell you if we're going to the next verse, or I'm going to say a specific thing from the purport, because I already highlighted the most kind of a significant parts of the purport which I would like to emphasize, and in this way, we're going to go through lots of verses and lots of points, and I will also comment on the way as we are speaking of it, and we'll see how much we go through it. So go down until the verse 15, 16. This is the first verse I'm gonna read. Yes. So appreciate Devi if you can start reading the verses, and after each verse I'm gonna tell you if we're gonna go to the next verse or we're gonna stop for a moment.
Okay, we'll start with the invocation. Jaya
Yes.
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 4, which is the confidential reasons for the appearance of Lord Gauranga. Text 15 and 16. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all.
In the purport, there is also a few sentences. He is also causeless merciful, and he wants to bestow upon us this privilege of raga bhakti. Thus, he appears by his own internal energy. He was not forced to appear by any external forces. Next verse.
17. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me.
Next.
If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me.
Next.
In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. In
So
whatever
okay. This is like one of the most amazing things about Krishna. In the purport of this 19th verse says, Lord is more pleased when a devotee thinks of him as his pet son, personal friend or most dear fiancé, and renders service unto him with such natural affection. The Lord becomes a subordinate object of love in such transcendental relationships. So what's the point? We can also go to the... Yes, can you read the 21 and 22? 21 and 22. Yes, Sridevi? Can you read it? Oh. Oh, you're muted, dear Sridevi.
Sorry. Devotional service rendered to me by the living beings revives their eternal life. O my dear damsels of Vraj, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it is the only means by which you have obtained my favor. Mother sometimes binds me as her son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me utterly helpless. My friends climb on my shoulders in pure friendship, saying, what kind of big man are you? You and I are equal. If my beloved consort reproaches me in a sulky mood, that steals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. Taking these pure devotees with me, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even in Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed.
Thank you. So this is one of the most wonderful aspects of Krishna, that he's not satisfied with the awe and reverence of the souls towards him. He's actually satisfied with pure love in one of the rasas. So not even Shanta rasa, so it has to be like, even Natidasya. But in the rasas where he's subordinate to his, but there is intimacy. The point is about intimacy, and this is what is actually come about. They ask, is Krishna coming to take the burden of the earth? Yeah, Vishnu is doing that, and Vishnu and all the incarnations, this is the first part of this chapter, is merging into Krishna when he appears, and they are doing this part. But what is he doing? He's he is actually showing his supreme loving nature of wanting to be subordinate to a pure love of the devotees. On the purport of this, one of these purports, it is regarded. Regulative principles in devotional service are meant for those who have not invoked their natural love for Godhead. That's why we are doing sadhana bhakti. When natural love arises, all regulative methods are surpassed. A pure love is exhibited between the Lord and the devotees. So many times when we are speaking about these raganuga levels, we know that all these regulative principles are surpassed, but we have to understand which way that happens. It happens actually really naturally, and in the next purport it is mentioned specific way how this is happening. The neophyte devotee who follows the Vedic instructions that regulates those who lack pure love of Godhead may superficially seem more exalted than the devotees in spontaneous love of God. This is like few interesting points about this raga bhakti that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to bring us. But to come there, we have to go through the regulative principles, and we're going to understand later on why. Yes, I think the next one is 29. Oh, Sridevi, you're muted.
Yeah. The influence of Yogi Maya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour.
Wait a second.
Neither
Eternal potency that makes the Lord forget himself and become an object of love of his pure devotee is different than different adferents and mellows. This is Yoga Maya. It has nothing to do with sexual physiology, although the pure love of such devotees seem to be sexual. So this is one of the key things we have to understand, that nothing about spiritual aspects is nothing, there is nothing to do with anything, any definition, material definition we know about it. So, they say like devotee seems to be sexual, seems to be lusty. It doesn't have anything to do with our understanding of lust. They seem to be friendly towards Krishna. It's nothing to do with what we seem, what friendliness means. So this is one of the key things in our devotional life that will change our perspective and our attitude towards devotional life, where we understand that we actually have to spiritually understand these items, these topics, these definitions on the spiritual level. And this is what this purport, this whole chapter is all about, which really amazes me. Please, Ferti, dear mother. And we can stop there as well.
Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this, for our minds will always be entranced by one another's beauty and qualities.
We look at this now. In the Lokam Vidaran, there is an exchange of love known as Parikriya Rasa. It is something like an attraction of a married woman for a man other than her husband. Such feelings between the devotee and the Lord are present by the influence of Yoga Maya. By the influence of Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya creates a situation in which the devotee is prepared to transgress all regulative principles simply to love Krishna. So Yoga Maya creates the situation. It's not that the devotee is doing that. Sahajiyas, what do Sahajiyas do? And we are not, we are trying to be on the Raganuga stage, but not artificially. Because Yoga Maya, it creates us the situation where we are transgressing it because of Yoga Maya, not because we are doing it because we are lazy. Listen to this. A devotee naturally does not like to transgress the laws of reverence. Can you believe it? The devotee naturally does not like to transgress the laws of reverence for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but by the influence of Yoga Maya, he is prepared to do anything to love the Supreme Lord better. So even the devotees in the Goloka Vrindavan have reverence. We said that Krishna is not so satisfied with reverence, right? But they do not like to transgress it, but because of Yoga Maya, they transgress it. So this is like a big difference. Many times trying to be on the higher levels than we are, we start, some insincere devotees, they start to artificially, they think that, I have to start to listen to this, listen to that, and I have to start acting on that platform. But this is not it. Actually, it's written here. They don't like to discuss the laws of reverence. So they don't want to go above sadhana bhakti. But because their love is so pure, Yoga Maya knowing that it will increase Krishna's pleasure, Yoga Maya makes us transgress this sadhana bhakti to Raganuga bhakti. So it's something that happens naturally based on the bhakti. And Yoga Maya Hladini Shakti is Radharani's mercy that actually does that work for us. The reason of the reason of Lord displays the Rasa Lila is essentially to induce all the fallen souls to give up their diseased morality and religiosity, and to attract them to the kingdom of God to enjoy the reality. A person who actually understands the Rasa Lila will certainly hate to indulge in mundane sex affairs. Ooh. So just to kind of gives us, it's kind of really gives us a big difference of and like reading this chapter, we for sure cannot become a sahajya because you understand like, oh, this is big difference. Mother, can you start reading 31?
Pure attachment will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties, dharma. Destiny will sometimes bring us together and sometimes separate us. I shall
So this
taste
is the point things, yeah. This is the same. This is the same thing. This indicates that when natural feelings of love Krishna becomes fully manifest, devotee can neglect convenient rules and regulations. Pure devotee service begins when one is free from all designations. When love of Krishna is awakened, the designation position are over. So yeah. Mother, please continue reading. Thank you.
I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favor all the devotees. Then, by hearing about the pure love of the residents of Raj, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love, abandoning all rituals of religiosity and fruitive activity. Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Here, the use of the word bhave, which is in the imperative mood, tells us that this certainly must be done. Non-compliance would be abandonment of duty.
Thank you, Mother. This is one of the key things about this understanding that is in this purport. The highest perfectional stage of conjugal relationships enriched by many sentiments give the maximum relishable mellow to the devotee. The Lord appears in different incarnations. Sahajas try to imitate the Lord, superficially imitating. Material sex indulgence can never be equaled with spiritual love, which is unadulterated goodness. They like to indulge in sense gratification in the name of devotional service. This is Sahajas. So this is one of the great things that it's like the more I'm getting aware of it, the more I am depressed because I see how much I am attached to this sense gratification. And we are speaking all this because Lord Gauranga, he appeared to show us what real devotion is. And we have to catch ourselves in all this sense gratification we are doing subtly from every aspects of our lives because it's kind of saturated to every of our activities. One must actually understand the import of the words through the intelligence of the authorized Goswamis. In other words, unless one is trained under the disciplic succession of Goswamis, one cannot understand Radha and Krishna. This is what we were saying, that, just reading Bhagavatam and saying, the gopis are lusty, and then, seeing around us what lust is, and so gopis are like that. This is totally wrong. We have to see the scripture through the intelligence of authorized Goswamis. The conditional souls are naturally averse to understanding the spiritual existence of the Lord. Averse. And if they try to know the transcendental nature of the Lord's pastimes while they remain absorbed in materialism, they are sure to blunder like the Sahanjiyas. So that's why we have a spiritual master. That's why we are reading Skritana that is studying Srimad Bhagavatam with our spiritual master, with the Goswamis, because they are giving us real understanding what these topics are all about. Please, Mother. I think you muted, sorry.
Yes. Just as these desires are the fundamental reason for Krishna's appearance, whereas destroying the demons is only an incidental necessity. So, for Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, promulgating the dharma of the age is incidental. When the Lord desired to appear for another reason, the time for promulgating the religion of the age also arose. Thus, with two intentions, the Lord appeared with his devotees and tasted the nectar of prema with the congregational chanting of the holy name. Thus, he spread Sankirtan even among the untouchables. He wove a wreath of the holy name and prema, and with which he garlanded the entire material world. In this way, assuming the sentiment of a devotee, he preached devotional service while practicing it himself. 4 kinds of devotees are the receptacles of the 4 kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent, and thus in that mood he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna. But if we compare the sentiments in an impartial mood, we find that the conjugal sentiment is superior to all others in sweetness. Increasing love is experienced in various tastes, one above another. But that love which has the highest taste in the gradual succession of desire manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Therefore, I call it Madhur Rasa. It has 2 further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. There is a great increase of mellow in the unwedded conjugal mood. Such love is found nowhere but in Vraja. This mood is unbounded in the damsels of Raj, but among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So we are coming up to the reason, like the inner reason why Krishna wanted to taste this rasa. And it's really amazing how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is actually revealing this to us, because this is like Krishna's only internal struggles. Is, he cannot experience his love, he cannot experience his own beauty, he cannot experience this what others feel for him, and he's getting mad. And as we said before, usually if we know the incarnations of Vishnu come to kind of take the burden of the earth, the sinful reactions, but if that moments of taking off the burden matches with Krishna's desire to come, then he comes in himself and he does both things at the same time. But the reason why he's coming is because he also wants to have fun, and he wants to also inspire us actually to also come with him to these pastimes. So you see that the chapter is gonna start speaking about the purity of love, which makes Krishna crazy, and it also kind of gives few really amazing points of how to understand this love of the devotees of Goloka Vrindavan, comparing to the love we kind of had experienced here in the material world. There is one verse here, one part of the purport saying, Sakya and Prakriya, conjugal love of God, have no existence in material world, and Parakriya is not exhibited anywhere in Vaikuntha, but only in the portion of Goloka Vrindavan known as Vraja. So you're speaking about this Swakya, Parakya, Rasa, but there is no existence in material world. I would say that it's not in that pure sense, at least. Please, Mother, if you can continue on.
Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis? Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now, these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Now, to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Ladini. That Ladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. Lord Krishna's body is eternal, Sat, full of knowledge, Chit, and full of bliss, Ananda. His one spiritual energy manifests three forms.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother. So this is like we are now coming to these three energies of Krishna, which you will see later on. Perverted manifestations are the three modes of material nature, and this is now coming up to the point of what Krishna sees in Radharani that he's eager to taste. A few words from the purport. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. When we speak about prema bhakti, when we speak about love is not, how do you say, when we say in the material world, falling in love. It's kind of falling in love, it's kind of get like chemical reaction in our head that overwhelms us, and then we are mad after someone. Love, it's not that. That's just kind of we are fully in ecstasy because we start to really intensely enjoy someone. Love is something much more profound, even in material sense, and of course in the spiritual. Love comes from serving, from service. That's why Maharaj constantly saying that service is everything to devotee, because he understands that the prema bhakti, the love, the bhava, is coming out through our service attitude and through our service towards the Lord, towards the attitude, towards our mood of service, towards the details we are doing it. Many times Maharaj said that love is in the details. So all these things in our service, if we are doing it properly, will invoke the love for the Lord. One of the symptoms of the love, maybe you will do the same service for many years and you will not feel anything. You will not be like, it's like, totally full, like, love, feeling love over your ears because you're doing service. No, you will probably not feel much things inside. But you will notice one thing. You will become really attached to the service you're doing and to the quality of service you want to do it. So it has to be specifically in this way. because it satisfies the Lord the most. This is the perfect, the best way to do it. This is where we actually can see the symptom of love. Our attachment for doing things nicely for the beloved. Just let me read a few more things. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord is exhibited by His grace in the person. Oh, do you want to know what is definition of love of God? Listen to this. So manifestation is called love of God. What? When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord, Hladini Shakti Radharani, is exhibited by His grace, Lord's grace, in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is an epithet for the pleasure potency of the Lord. Therefore, devotional service reciprocates between the Lord and His devotees in the exhibition of the transcendental pleasure potency of the Lord. So, love of Godhead is Radharani manifesting in your service. This is the reference, is the Adi Lila 460. This is the definition of love of God. It's Radharani manifested in your service to giving pleasure to Krishna. It's not actually our, service, doing many things. And many times we heard like, we are cooking for Krishna, and it sounds like it is like child bringing a clay dish with, clay vegetables and clay sabji. And then, father, is this, and he's like, so nice, nom, nom, nom. And, or my little nephew, she is making ice cream, plastic ice creams. And, it's like, oh, please, you take one. And very nice. Wow, this is a very nice favor. So this is like our offerings of food, Krishna. It's a clay, clay offering. But what is actually this, what attracts Krishna? It's Radharani. Radharani that manifests in our service because of our sincerity of serving Krishna. So, being proud that how great we are cook, we are clay cookers, and we can, make such a nice clay dishes for Krishna, and Krishna is satisfied because we are so expert in it. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Krishna desires only love, and love means that Radharani has to manifest. And of course, correct me if I said something wrongly. The Hladini potency gives the Lord all transcendental pleasure, and the Lord bestows such a potency upon His pure devotee. Dun, anyway, so Mother, can you continue reading?
Ladini is his aspect of bliss, Sandhini of eternal existence, and Samvit of cognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. O Lord, you are the support of everything. These three attributes, Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit, exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and mixtures of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities.
Thank you, Mother. Just to repeat, the transcendental potency of the Supreme Lord by which He maintains His existence is called Sadhini. The transcendental potency by which He knows Himself and causes others to know Him is called Samvit. And transcendental potency by which He possesses transcendental bliss and causes His devotees to have bliss is called Hladini. The Lord and His devotees simultaneously perceive the Hladini potency directly by the power of Samvit potency. So we are reading Shastra. We are trying to understand Shastra. What we are trying to do, we are trying to invoke the Samvit potency, because the Samvit potency is actually the potency which is causing us to understand Him, to know Him. To know the Lord means we have to get the blessings of the Lord, because Lord takes His he takes His right not to be revealed to others. So He is using His Samvit. We can learn all the shlokas, we can know all the Bhagavatam, and there are many scholars, they are, speaking about Chaitanya Charitamrita and smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. So it's ridiculous. But Samvit, we are trying to get the mercy of Samvit and Hladini. And the Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive Hladini potency directly by the power of Sambit potency. So it's amazing just to understand this, how, and this is what actually this essence of Bhagavad Gita is. Sarvadama parityaja mamekam sharanam raja. Tvam aham tvam sarve papevyo no mokshayishyami masuchaha, which says that surrender, one of the aspects of surrender, means that we are always helpless. Because we need Hladini Shakti to bestow mercy upon us, Samvit Shakti to bestow mercy upon us. Our spiritual master, Prabhupada has these potencies in him, and he's trying to share it with us. So we are helpless, always trying to get this mercy. That's why whatever we are doing, it's not that because of the things we are doing, we get this mercy. We just do something just to offer something to the Lord and ask, please, please be merciful to me. It kind of gives a totally deeper understanding of how the process works. Please, we're going to read a few more verses, please, Mother.
The essential portion of the Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seats, and so on are all transformations of Shuddha Sattva. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed without any covering, is called Vasudev. In that pure state, the Supreme Godhead, who is beyond the material senses and who is known as Vasudev, is perceived by my mind. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Is Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as the knowledge of Brahman, are its components. The essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, bhav. And the ultimate development of emotion is Mahabhav. Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhav. She is the repository of all good qualities and the crest jewel among all the lovely consorts of Lord Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. The potency of Hladini Shakti is love of Godhead, which is two divisions, namely the pure love of Godhead and adulterated love of Godhead. Only when the Hladini Shakti emanates from Shri Krishna and is bestowed upon the living being to attract him, so when Hladini Shakti bestowed upon the living being to attract Krishna, does the living being become a pure lover of God? Da-da-da-da. That's why, even though this Radha Tattva is important for us, that's why the Lord, our Gurudev says that first you go to Nityananda, and Nityananda gives you to Radharani, because she has to empower you. Otherwise, it will not be any good for Krishna. Hladini Shakti is adulterated by the external material energy and emanates from the living being. It does not attract Krishna. On the contrary, the living being becomes attracted by the glamour of a material energy. So let me read this again. So why we are attracted to material energy still? Hladini Shakti is adulterated by the external material energy and emanates from the living being. So it's interesting. The material energy emanates from us, but we're not trying to offer this to Krishna. We are trying to attract Hladini Shakti so that he will be offered. Thank you, Mother. Please continue.
Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhav and she surpasses all in good qualities. Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy. I'm sorry, I lost it. She is Krishna. I'm so sorry. Which verse we are on? 60?
Let me speak now, because I think that we can then continue on 71. So she is the only source of enjoyment for Sri Krishna. Radharani, Hladini Shakti is the only source of enjoyment for Sri Krishna. This is the purport. The Sri Krishna cannot enjoy anything that is internally different from him. Sadhini portion of Sri Krishna's internal potency has manifested the all-attractive form of Sri Krishna. So, okay, just to bear this in mind. So can you continue from 71?
Mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy and she helps him in his pastimes. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potencies Radhini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Now, please listen to how Lord Krishna's consorts help him taste rasa and how they help in his pastimes. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Raja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. Just as the fountainhead, Lord Krishna, is the cause of all incarnations, so Sri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. The goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radhika, and the queens are reflections of her image. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhav Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhav Prakash. The Vraja Devis have diverse bodily forms, features. They are her expansions and are the instruments for expanding rasa. Without many consorts, there is not such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastimes. Among them are various groups of consorts in Vraj, who have varieties of sentiments and mellows. They help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda and the crest jewel of all his consorts. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishna Mai means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Or Krishna Mai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, or she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. Therefore, Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. I have already explained the meaning of Sarva Lakshmi. Radha is the original source of all the goddesses of fortune. Or Sarva Lakshmi indicates that she fully represents the six opulences of Krishna. Therefore, she is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna.
Thank
The
you,
word
Mother.
Sarva. Okay.
So I'll I'll just summarize it because the time is going by, and the whole chapter has like 270 verses going deep, and I'll just summarize what is it saying. In the essence, why this is actually coming to the point that if you want to serve Krishna, you have to actually help serve the gopis, because the gopis are the one who can serve the Krishna. He can actually give the pleasure to Krishna, the biggest pleasure to Krishna. So that's why serving the gopis and being servant of the gopis is even higher than even in associating with the Lord, because what we can we directly, how can we satisfy the Lord directly? Not so much, but if you actually satisfy and serve the gopis, then you are satisfying Krishna himself. So the dilemma in this chapter came when Krishna, being full in all, he's like Atmarama, he's fully satisfied by himself. and he's still attracted and enchanted by Radharani. Not only that he's enchanted by her, but she's even more enchanted to him than he is to her. And he sees that she enjoys much more serving him than he enjoys the service itself. The Krishna gets pleasure by seeing the gopis, and later on in verses you will see that the gopis, the only reason why they are keeping their body alive, because they are giving pleasure to Krishna, and they are actually always blaspheming all these symptoms of ecstasy they are feeling because they are not able to serve Krishna. So this is many times I heard also in Shruti Kirti's lectures about Prabhupada and Gurudevs, that service is our life, even though we don't feel anything. And even if we feel ecstatic symptoms, we don't care. We don't care we feel ecstatic because we are attached to serving Krishna, giving pleasure to Krishna. The thing that, this is one thing that Krishna is also bewildered, that the gopis don't want to feel the ecstatic emotions, but they cannot not feel the ecstatic emotions because of the purity of their love, because that is what is love is. Love means giving joy to other. And later on it is described that this is actually the satisfaction of the other person. And our intense desire to give pleasure to the other person is actually love, and it gives us even more pleasure. So that's why in this material world we can see if we are satisfying ourselves, it is disaster. But just when we just do a little step and start to satisfy someone else, even though it is still extended egoism, it's much better. So why not serving Lord? So this is what Lord Gauranga, Krishna, actually speaking about. First, he sees the love. He wants to feel the love that Radharani, all this eagerness to serve Krishna. He wants to feel it because when he's smelling it, he's seeing it, and he cannot taste it in the form of Krishna. So he has to come as a devotee. Second thing, he sees that they are enchanted by his beauty. And even when he sees the reflection of his beauty, he's enchanted. And he knows that the more you love Krishna, the more his own beauty exhibits it even more. This is one of the key things. Even now, we come and see the deities, and you can see, oh, they're nice. But the more we have love, the more this deity gonna shine even more. The beauty of the deity is gonna, you're gonna shine even more. That's why the Sakas, they don't, they see Krishna is beautiful, but not so beautiful as Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda doesn't see Krishna so beautiful as the gopis. And nobody sees Krishna so beautiful as Radharani. That's why she has Mahabharata. So the more we have this service attitude and love for Krishna, the more his beauty and qualities are manifested in front of our eyes. So this is what he wants to taste. He wants to taste full aspects of his qualities, and that's why he comes. And I don't remember if I skipped the third one, the reason on this regard. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when thinking about this, all the pastimes become more nourishable. Knowing the tattva reveals the rasa. Understanding the tattva gives all the pleasure in the rasa in the pastimes of the Lord. And I know that even our dear God brother Janakinath, I heard that when he was reading CC, he said I'm gonna skip all these 11 chapters of tattva and such. I'm gonna go to the rasa immediately. I think he maybe mentioned it once in some conversation with someone. And I am actually in the ecstasy just reading this fourth chapter, understanding this difference between the love of the gopis, which means service, and there are many kind of verses. If you didn't read this, if you have read it, but for a long time you didn't, please read it. It's just amazing to understand all these aspects. This is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and all these pastimes of him we will nourish even more if we understand that it's Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani and asking him for the blessings to be able to, you know, be empowered and serving Krishna without sense gratification in the wild. So I will stop here. Excuse me for this method of doing things, and yeah, please would like to hear your comments, your realizations, and your inputs as well, if something was not said properly or was not said enough. Yeah, please. You're the host, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, may I humbly request you to please, if you can shed some light on this. And this just came to me as we were reading all about, Srimati Radhika and all the expansions from her. And we read that Radhika or Radharani and Chandravali are the two main personalities serving Krishna. But we don't hear so much about Chandravali. We hear about Radhika, we hear about Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, Champaklata, Tunga Vidya. These are all the gopis, the 8 gopis, the principal gopis. So we hear a lot about Radharani and we hear a lot about the Ashtasakhis. But somehow my curiosity is piqued because I don't know too much about Chandravali.
Well, thank you. I would like to also hear more about her. I mean, the only thing I want to mention is that in the spiritual world, all of them are taking their role just for the sake of pleasure and enhancing the rasa between Krishna and Radharani. So it's like the similar thing to say, what are the mother-in-laws of Radharani? What are their names?
Kutila and Kutila are the
Kutila,
mother-in-law
Kutila.
and sister-in-law of Radharani.
Of Radharani. So if we actually examine their character, we would say like, oh, they don't like Krishna. You know, they maybe even hate Krishna because all their endeavors, all their actions, all their speaking is only like against Krishna. But they're full in loving Krishna and they're just expert in their service to Krishna of being opposite to Krishna, so that their loving exchanges be even more ecstatic. And you can see this when Radharani was, I think it was Srimad Bhagavatam or somewhere, where Krishna didn't come for a long time, but Radharani was leaving her body, and then even Abhim, like, or even her husband came and said like, I'm just here just to enhance your loving, please don't leave us. Not actually your husband, come on. And the Jatila, and also they were like, no, please, we were chastising all of you just because it's gonna give you pleasure, please don't leave us. So it's, if Radha and Krishna would leave Vrindavan, they will remain only one type of persons, and it would be seekers for Radha and Krishna. Why they didn't come back? So the same way, with Shudravali and all of the other residents of Goloka Vrindavan, they have no self-interest. They are just experts in using their potencies, their character, and their roles to enhance the loving relationships. So I know I'm sure for only this about Chandravali, but nothing else.
Thank you. Dear devotees, on the eve of God Purnima, we have heard such a wonderful talk about the appearance of Lord Gauranga. So please share your thoughts, your realizations, your comments. If you have any questions, anything that comes to your mind, it may be not even regarding the class, but just regarding God Purnima. That is also all right, because as Vrshabh Prabhu said right in the beginning, this is such an important day for us. The day when the Lord came, it is most merciful manifestation to give love of God without any consideration of qualification. This is such a rare event. Once in the day of Lord Brahma. And Lord Chaitanya himself comes in 1,000 Kali Yugas, he comes once. Okay, Trupti Mataji, go ahead, please. Then we have
Hare Krishna, Sridevi Mataji, my Danvat Pranam to you. Vrshabh Prabhu, my Pranam to you as well. Danvat Pranam to all Vaishnavas. All glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. We learn so much through this class. It's just unbelievable. Whoever doesn't join this class, they don't know how much they're missing out. I hope they're listening afterwards, because it is just, it's like once Prabhupada used to say, the second is gone, it's not coming back. And when you listen to it and listen to it again and again, and it just purifies us and enlighten us as well, that we don't know. I just very, very new in Krishna consciousness, only few years, and trying to read as much as I can, but I'm a good listener rather than very slow reader I am. And thank you very much for telling us all about this, all the rasas, and why we have to love the gopis and serve the gopis to please Krishna and please Radharani. And I remember my days last year when I was in Mayapur for the first time, and when I stood in front of Sri Radha Madhav Astasakhi Vrunda, when I'm reading their names and looking at them, and it's like the bhav that we have for the gopis. And I'm so glad that you focus on that gives us some more insight of how to please Krishna, how to please Radharani, through what and through how. So thank you so much for that. And Sridevi Mataji, obviously you are amazing. I just don't know. I know you don't like praise, but you are so knowledgeable, and you go and dig out all this information and share with us, and all these questions Rishabh Prabhu asked to Guru Maharaj, that, sometimes I'm afraid to ask some questions because I'm so scared of Guru Maharaj. But my today's question is, this is my realization, and I'm so happy for this class. My today's question is that our local temple here in Croydon, I'm going there to make the prashadam, and we've been asked to cook the Ekadashi prashadam. So I just am not sure why is that Ekadashi prashadam today. Is there any particular significance, or because we fast?
Sridevi?
Yeah, Vrshabh Prabhu, go ahead.
No, Sridevi, please. I just know that sometimes when devotees are having big feasts and fasting all day and then having a big feast, then the grains can not go well on the stomach. But maybe I don't know if there is any other reason for that.
Okay. Yeah, because we're doing the Abhishek in the evening. We did Mangala this morning, and doing Abhishek for Gauranga this evening. Everybody bringing their offerings as well, but we're making only Ekadashi Prasad. So, because Sridevi Mataji said you can ask any question, so I thought, let me ask this question.
Yeah, thank you. I want to know this. I know something, and
Very nice
I would like
question.
to know more.
Very nice question. And what Vrshabh Prabhu said is actually quite accurate, because on this day, ideally, we are supposed to fast completely till moonrise, complete fast. But everyone cannot do that. Everyone is not capable of doing that. So at least if they have to eat, then let them take only Ekadashi Prasadam, not like a big grain feast, like that. Only after Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears, there's Maha-Arti, there's Mahabhog offering, and then it becomes Prasadam. Then, of course, everybody can have a feast. But until then, the practice is, if you have to eat, then take just Ekadashi style, some fruits, nuts, like that, simple prasadam, not like cooked grains and cooked food, like a big meal. That's my understanding.
One thing I would like to also hear from the devotees, do they have similar experience? Fasting, when I'm thinking of, I have to fast, and I'm thinking of, I am fasting because, I have to or something, then it's really hard. But I found one trick. When I'm thinking I'm fasting for someone else, it's much easier to fast. When you're fasting, you're not fasting for yourself. Doing anything for yourself is really hard, isn't it? Like, even when I was speaking about farm communities, I was speaking with one devotee, and we were speaking that everything should be first class, but not for ourselves, for Radha and Krishna, the deities we're going to have there. So we want to offer them the highest class, and we are thinking about that. We are doing this for them, then it's, you know, much more enthusiastic, and I'm much more enlivened to do a first class things. Otherwise, for myself, I was like, yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. It can be anything. But thinking about this, what we are doing always, if you're thinking you're not doing it for ourselves, you're not fasting for ourselves, we're not chanting for ourselves, we're not serving for ourselves. We are serving, we are doing this for at least, you know, or on level, is it for, you know, it can be for guru, it can be for, I don't know, whatever, you know, just not for yourself at least. It's much easier. So I don't know if anyone is also using this hack. Maybe you can also give me more hacky advices.
That's a nice hack, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing it with us. I think we can all use that hack. Yeah, thank you. Divya Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Rishabh Prabhu, thank you so much.
Hare
All
Krishna,
glories
Divya.
to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Dev. Please accept my humble obeisances and all Gaur Purnima's celebration. And I wish you all happy Gaur Purnima. I really wanted to thank you, Rishabh Prabhu, for your class today. It was very wonderful and very nicely articulated. The way you explained the four sentiments of love, and the way you explained that how conjugal love is the most important one, and the way you explained that pure service that needed to be performed. And you also actually touched on the hidden parts of, our service, that it's still not pure. I really wanted to thank you. You should speak, often. You should give these classes because it really, put a very powerful message. And I think by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita in a very beautiful way, it actually fills the vacuum that is there in our hearts. And still, the love that we need to feel for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you so much for that. I just wanted to understand the verse text 17 and 37. I think I missed it, or maybe I think you touched upon it very quickly. If you don't mind, please. Thank you. The
Which
second
one?
verse, Mataji, that you started, the second verse from the class, was it 17? I
Yes,
don't remember
15,
that.
16, 17. Yes,
Yes,
this is where we
17
started.
and then 37. Yeah, 17 and 37, please. Thanks so much.
So, okay, all the universes. Okay, so this is the question. The Krishna is not satisfied by being a majesty. So this is like if you are a if you are like a high court judge, and everybody is like, you know, oh, your majesty, or high court judge, oh, you know, it's like we are all praising you, or we are all afraid of you a little, you know. That means like it's called or over reverence, you know. It's like, you know, you're the big boss, you know, we respect you, we adore you, and we follow you, and you're like, okay, who's gonna love me here, you know? Yeah, but then you see this high court judge. He goes home and he's like, you know, as Prabhupada said, he's a pony, you know, for his nephew or something, you know, and he's like enjoying being a pony, not being, you know, like a big shot. And this is like, it's like being a president. Many people in Shantaras, it's Shantaras. What does it mean? Shantaras means we are adoring you as a president. You know, we know a lot about you. Shantaras means you are absorbing Krishna and you are not absorbing any material things, and you know everything about Krishna, and you are really adoring him, but no intimacy. There's no intimacy. So it's like, you know, respect from the distance, and even from the, you know, we can be close, but you know, you like, it's Narayan, Narayana mood, you know. Now they say that even in Vaikuntha, the seminar I was, if I understood it correctly from the seminar, there are not so many dasyas, because in Vaikuntha there is only one Madhurya, it's Lakshmi Devi. But Thalia, you don't see like Narayan form in a baby form. Even today they are generating these pictures as well. But anyway, it's you have like also Narasimha Dev in the baby form, but that's you don't have that. There's no Vatsalya rasa in Vaikuntha as I know it. Stakya maybe one or two persons, and Dasyas not even so much Dasyas. Mostly is Shantaras. All reverence, and you're meditating upon the Lord. You are absorbed in Him, but you don't have any intimacy with Him. But the more intimacy you become, the more Krishna is revealing himself to you as he is. And the more open he is towards the gopis. Later on in these verses you will hear like they say like gopis, he's my teacher, he's my friend, they are my everything, everything, because he's the most open to them and the most showing himself as he is. But over reverence he cannot open to you. The president, being a role of a president, he cannot start joking with you because you will not, he will, because you want him to guide you. You want this rasa with him. You want you to be, Ramaraj. He wants you. I want you to be a king, and to lead me. And I want you to be my servant. So not to be rasa bas, he keeps this formal. It's your desire. But if you want some more intimacy, then he pulls you in. Be a dasa. Be a dasa. Then a dasyaras, be a servant, it's already intimacy. And many times Prabhupada and even Gurudev says that being a personal servant of a spiritual master is really confidential. It is. Many things you see him in many situations, and you actually start to understand how he thinks, how he acts, what his needs are. But it's still not so intimate as a friend. When I see how our god brother Abhaduta Nitai, he has amazing friendly relationship with our spiritual master. How intimacy, Maharaj is telling him all about many things from his past, like from his childhood, everything. But to Dasya Ras, it's like, I don't speak to him. Like Dasya Ras means I come here and do my service. I don't speak with spiritual master. But friends is like, oh yeah, how are you, Gurudev? Oh, I will have you old, This is Dasya, this is Sakyaras. Then Vatsalya Ras is that you are subordinate to. That means that, so I know some spiritual masters, they have like a disciple, but she's like a mother to them. And, she tells them what to do. That is Vatsalya Ras. That means that you are subordinate to the rules and regulations and instructions of a senior. And then you have, and then Madhurya, I don't know so much about it, but it's higher than that, much higher, more than that. This is about 17 verse. Did I catch the essence, or you have something more specific?
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much.
And what was the next one? 30, which one?
The 37. Just a quick one, yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to repeat what I heard from the lectures lately. Yeah, because so when there is some discrepancy, let's say Hiranyaksha comes, and so he puts he makes so many sinful activities that the earth flips from the orbit and falls into the Karbakashai ocean. So he came as a Vishnu avatar. As a Vishnu avatar, bore Varahadev. He came and kicked his ass. So, but when this burden matches with Krishna's desire to descend, then Krishna comes himself, and then he starts doing Kurukshetra war, where 60. So it's interesting, in the first canto, I found the references. 680 million people died. Even though, if I understood correctly, Sridevi, there are only 30 Akshvahini units there, and in the purports after that verse comes the explanation that I think there are like what's the amount, 500,000 people, 500,000 soldiers in this Ashvahini division, which means that altogether it should be like, was it 15 million? I guess the rest is the barbarians, because there are lots of barbarians coming, I guess, to the fields.
There were
So
18 Akshauhini.
yeah, that means that there are like 9 million of Ashvahini soldiers then, but then they were like,
on the side and 11 on the Kaura side, so 18, not 13.
Interesting. Okay, so this is still some Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. So in the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he is gonna come and deliver the Yuga Dharma, that he's gonna deliver the sinful reactions of Kali Yuga. He doesn't have to come just because of that. Even though, we are emphasizing this because we are a sadhana bhakti, and we are trying to preach, and we are trying to also absorb ourselves in chanting. And there is no fast rules of chanting Hare Krishna until you actually come to the point that actually I want to be serious. Oh, there are many rules and regulations you have to actually follow. But when you come serious, until then, you are just kind of going on the streets and, chant Hare Krishna with us. Oh, Hare Krishna, I have smoking and drinking now and eating beef, Oh, Hare Krishna. For then, yes, just chant Hare Krishna with your beef in your mouth. Doesn't care. It doesn't matter. You just chant Hare Krishna for now. For now. And so he doesn't have to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver the Yuga Dharma. But when he does it in a glorious mood. So this is the point. I hope maybe there is some more points.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
I would like to emphasize that we were just reading some verses from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is emphasizing the how it's really easy to satisfy Krishna by satisfying and serving the gopis, but it doesn't mean that this is the only way of satisfying Krishna. Of course, if many of us are maybe trees, maybe plants, doesn't mean that we were going to be all, servant like manjaris and gopis, and no, maybe we want to be like, just a blade of grass, and just being ecstatic when Krishna or his Kaukar boys are stepping on us. So that I don't want that some misunderstanding comes here, because it's just like a part of informations we were reading now, and with time you will hear much more, which will kind of give you the whole picture.
Yeah, thank you for that detailed explanation. Yes, it is very wonderful to hear about the Lord, his associates, his pastimes. And by the way, Brahma prayed to be born as a blade of grass so that the gopis will step over him and he can get the dust, feet dust of the gopis. So any position in Golok Vrindavan, even as a blade of grass, is supremely ecstatic and supremely relishable and supremely desirable, because hey, the spiritual world.
I want to relate to this aspect I think you were mentioning, Sri Devi, in the few classes before, that there were 3 persons having Mahabhava. So we were saying the highest level of Bhava is Mahabhava, and it was Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Madhavendra Puri, right? And interesting enough, that Madhavendra Puri, he's not a gopi, he's a tree in the spiritual world, and it's like, what? Tree has a Mahabhava? Really? It's like, you expect, like, what about, Lalita, Vishaka? I don't know. It's like, all these, pure souls, Nityasiddhas, and you have like a tree, like one of the three persons are tree, but he's a tree in some special kunda, I think, or so. Just to tell you that, it's, our material, like a material understanding of, what is higher, what is lower, and yeah, I'm still trying to figure out about this kind of a concept of changing rasas and everything, because coming to the rasa stage of understanding and revealing your rasa, you have a lot of service to do, intense service to do. So when you come to that rasa and you actually establish yourself in your constitutional position, I doubt you will be thinking of something, changing it or something, because it will be just so nourishing. And I think one of the verses we were saying, that everybody is so ecstatic in his rasa with Krishna that he doesn't think about other rasas. Even the parrots, I think that, I don't know what's the name of the parrot of Krishna that, changes colors from red, yellow, and green. Yellow to remind Krishna of Radharani, green to, merge with the trees when he's, sending messages, and the red to remind Radharani of the love Krishna has for her. So he's changing feathers, and he says that, from all the services in Raj, being what is it? Messages, taking messages around is the most exciting. So the parrot thinks about himself that this service he's doing is the most exciting. So so everybody thinks that their service to Krishna is the most exciting.
Yeah, Haribol. You're taking us to the spiritual world by describing all these pastimes and all these personalities, parrots and peacocks and birds and trees and blades of grass and wish-fulfilling trees, and how beautiful that world is. And we left it and we came over here. So just imagine, as you said, how much work we have to do to get back to Krishna, because we have been so much associating only with the material energy for so many millions of lifetimes, we have forgotten what it is like to love and serve Krishna. So now we are simply in training. We are getting trained how to serve Krishna nicely. Very nice, very beautiful. Thank you for taking us to the spiritual world. So, Brajamandal Prabhu, please go ahead.
No hard questions, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Jai Gauranga, Haribol. Please accept my sincere, humble obeisances to my dearest Vrshabh Prabhu and Mataji, Srimati Mataji, and all the Vaishnavas present. What a lovely day. Please accept my humble obeisances again and 1,000 times. I just wanted to emphasize on a couple of points. I was listening, and as we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and taught us so many different things, how to be a first-class Vaishnava. And one of the points that stuck out to me was pride in our service. Because sometimes, and even if we are a toilet cleaner or a shoe keeper or someone that sweeps the floor, we should always remember to keep our mind and our heart focused on the lotus feet of Sri Krishna or Gaura even, especially in this age. And we should never get puffed up, because the moment we get puffed up about our service is the moment we are bringing poison into our service. It's like poison, or it's like you have a pot of milk and you put 1 spoon of yogurt, everything becomes yogurt, right? So similarly, this is what Mahaprabhu taught us. And this is actually very, very profound. So we have a choice. We have a choice. We can either make the choice of letting that poison enter our mind, that I am so great. Because some of us could be pujaris, or some of us could be in management, or some of us could be whatever. But that's why I mentioned it could be someone like a sweeper or a shoe keeper, or someone that cleans a toilet. I clean the toilet so great, and I'm doing the lowest of the jobs, and and that's where the mood changes. That's where you are emanating or letting poison into your mind. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Nitai even more so, came specifically to teach us. This very, very point. And we have a choice, like Krishna explains to Arjuna on the battlefield. So we have a choice. Krishna explains that abandon all varieties of religion. We have a choice. He's telling Arjuna, you have a choice. There is Christianity, there's Judaism, there's Muslim. You have a choice. You can either follow this or you can follow that. And eventually you will come to me. But right now you have a choice. So similarly, we have a choice in our service that we must be very, very mindful. And Guru Maharaj emphasizes this like all the time to us. And I'm at fault as well. Sometimes I have to really check myself. I do like the plays. I do Bhaktivedanta plays. Vrshabh Prabhu, you know that well. And I have to always remind myself that, no, I'm not doing it. So when I'm standing on stage and we're bowing and saying, thank you and everyone is applauding. I always think, no, my service is for Srila Prabhupada, the Vaishnavas, but above all, I give gratitude and thanks, and I pay my obeisances again and again and again to Dwarkapuri and Jai Krishna for teaching me. The gratitude has to go there. So I have to always keep myself in check. So this point you brought up was really, really, it just stuck to me, and I thought, let me share this. It's really, really important, because we can get polluted very, very quickly. We're all fallen souls, right? You know, in the material world, we're scrambling to get out. We don't even know how to do that. So when we are serving, we have to be very, very paka in our mood and our mindset, that we don't get puffed up. Just thought I'd share that.
Nice.
Thank you
Nice.
very much. Thank you very much. Because it's really, because then you're actually getting deep into the service. There are a few points about the service that regarding this pride, that it's really kind of it's hard to be proud when we are aware of the sambandha of how things actually move in the material world. One thing is that the skill to do any service, and many times I think that you are aware that we came to some place and we say, oh, I know how to do it, and you understand, oh my God, I have, like, what am I doing? I'm messing things up. It's like, why am I messing things up? It's so simple service. Or you're like, oh, nothing is going my hands. Why? Because the skill, the intelligence, the knowledge, and the movement of our body, the senses, are all done by Krishna. All the activities are done by Krishna. And the only reason why we are actually even able to engage in service, because Gurudev, our spiritual master, prayed to Krishna, please allow him to serve you. Because it's really, look, service is a chance for you to develop love of God. And love of God is what controls Krishna. So it's like not a, it's not you know, it's not like easy, like it's not a simple thing for Krishna to give you or allow you to serve him. Even though in the temples, you know, as a temple commander or a manager, you always be searching for someone to do something, you know. But actually, it's like it's really confidential. It's like you will not see a prime minister allowing you to serve him in, you know, come and, you know, wash my toilet. He will not gonna allow you. That's like, you know, oh, it's confidential, you know, doing some service. So it's all because of Gurudev giving us the credit. Skills manifesting through Krishna, and we also be careful that we are doing this service for Krishna. It's Krishna's, you know, if somebody tells you, would you like to go for 10 minutes to spiritual world just to wash the, you know, just to wash the toilet of Krishna in, you know, in his palace, just for 10 minutes. We were like, yeah, sure, you know, it's like, go and wash Krishna's toilet, of course. But if we come to the temple, we don't see that toilet as a Krishna's toilet. But that's why we need to have this vision of the Shastra. We have to repeat this ourselves to the mind. This is actually Krishna's toilet. And, you know, Krishna accepted this castle, so it's his castle. And we are going to that Bhaktivedanta manor and we are washing the toilets. And then the last part, that is like, if these foods become a real service to Krishna, satisfying for Krishna, then Hadini Shakti, as we were reading, she has to empower us. So we need to be humble, so humble and so meek and so prayerful that, you know, please show me how to do this, how to be pleasing for Krishna. So we are just helpless all the time. Whatever we're doing, if you are helpless, you cannot be proud, is it?
Yeah, really well said, Prabhuji. Personally, you're an ocean of information. So lovely. Yeah, it's such good points. And I think the fundamental point also is, for me, I speak for myself, I'm actually just trying to figure out how to be a servant. I don't even know how to do it. I haven't got those qualities, the skills. I don't even know, because my mind's just, this material energy is so powerful that we don't even know, speak for myself again, I don't even know how to be a seven. So I'm just learning that process and just trying to figure it out. And yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. I really appreciate that. And I love this duo, Mataji and yourself. Awesome duo. It's great.
You know,
I was thinking that she will curse me.
I want to interject. There are no toilets in the spiritual world. We come
I
here,
know.
get a material body for one reason, to pass urine and stool. Bhakti
Krishna.
Saraswati Maharaj said, the living entity comes to this material world to pass urine and stool. So all these toilet business happens over here. There are no toilets there because you have a spiritual body. Just
I was thinking it.
that
I
in.
was thinking something, but I didn't know the answer. Thank you, man.
Maybe they will make one
Very
toilet.
long discussion, and if there are no further questions or comments, because it's 7 o'clock in the evening in India here, which is
Okay,
getting
sorry.
late. So we can end the call if everybody agrees. Thank you again, Vrshabh Prabhu, for a very wonderful talk. And
Thank you, dear Vaishnavas.
Participants for patiently waiting online and hearing with rapt attention, sharing your realizations, contributions. We wish everyone a wonderful God Purnima, and we hope to see you all again soon.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank
Bol.
you.
Thank you so much. Krishna Devi Hare Bol.
Gauranga.
Hare Bol.